The gold and silver Governor General's medals, established in 1873, are one of the most prestigious awards that can be received by a student in a Canadian educational institution for exceptional academic achievement. Only students with a grade point average of 3.5 or higher and who have completed the required number of Athabasca University credits as determined by their registered program are considered. On behalf of His Excellency, the Right Honourable David Johnston, Governor General of Canada, I am pleased to present the Silver Academic Medal to this year's recipient, Keira St. George, a graduate of the Bachelor of Nursing program from North Vancouver, British Columbia. If Keira could just come forward. On behalf of His Excellency, the Right Honourable David Johnston, Governor General of Canada, I'm pleased to present the Gold Academic Medal to this year's recipient, Ruth Stewart. Ruth hails from Victoria, British Columbia, and is a graduate of the Master of Counselling program. She has agreed to give the address to the graduates. Please join me in welcoming Ruth to the podium.
Madam Chair, Mr. President, distinguished guests, members of the Platform Party, graduates, family and friends, I'm so excited and honored to be here today. Thank you. This degree, this university, and my peers and mentors here are dear to me for many, many reasons, both personal and professional. I think the most profound thing that happened during my Athabasca education, however, is that I found my voice. And best of all, I got to do so in the company of this rich and diverse band of friends and colleagues who were finding theirs. I came from humble roots, strongly identified with misfits and underdogs, and I headed to medical school imagining that the stamp of approval conferred by that degree would open a space in which I would have the power to heal wounds, push back against oppression, have something to say about how people ought to be treated and respected. I graduated very young and naive, and like so many of us do throughout the healthcare professions, I soon struggled to cope with the demoralizing reality of working within systems and structures that put so many limits around the ways we can respond to human need. I tried to use my voice to stand up for the marginalized, to speak up about injustice, but so often the words seemed to bounce off the walls, to disappear ineffectually into the void of systems and forces too big to change. Increasingly, I spoke from frustration and moral distress. And as the years went by, I grew tired, began to lose faith that my voice had any effect in the world. I had my children, the great loves of my life, and the children I was blessed with turned out to need almost all of what was left of my voice in order to carve out a safe space for them. I took an extended break from practice, gave up trying to say the things that used to burn holes in my heart, tried to pretend I had nothing to say. And then one day I was ready to try again. But like so many of us who are juggling a full-time load of life responsibilities, I did not have the luxury of dropping it all to attend a brick-and-mortar university. And so I found Athabasca. It was a steep and sometimes painful learning curve for all of us as those first papers came back with miniature essays in the comment column. Not a sentence escaped unscathed, and that blue APA manual became our unforgiving judge and ever-present companion. As we began to post in the forums, I discovered that we all wondered in our own ways, for many different reasons, whether we had something to say. We all wanted something more. We're here because we were no longer willing to settle for our own particular status quo. But our programs tested the limits of our resolve and endurance many times over. Sometimes we wanted to quit, but we always talked each other into sticking around just a little longer. We also learned how to listen, and we were constantly challenged to consider power and privilege, to question every assumption, to learn the skills to do the particular kinds of work that make space for everyone to speak. Best of all were the seminars and practicums. At last we heard each other's voices in person, and our friendships deepened as we shared our dreams and our vulnerabilities. We watched each other's skills grow and mature. We cheered each other on and learned from the richness of our diverse experiences. Finally, through theses and projects, we took on the challenge of making something new, articulating things we cared about deeply, and putting them out in the world to be heard, many of us submitting for publication. It wasn't until I returned to medicine this year that I realized how much I've changed through this process, realized that I had found my voice. It is a voice that no longer feels thin and alone. It is shaped by the discipline instilled by mentors and instructors, but even more importantly, it is grounded in the richness of this community and the shared experiences of these past years. I believe that speaking up with skill and insight and compassion and courage is one of the greatest gifts we can bring to the world. Don't ever forget your voice. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ruth, for your inspirational words, and I think inspiration for your fellow graduates today. Thank you so much. I would like to again say a special congratulations to all of the graduates today. Please enjoy the day. It's your special day. I'd like to also thank, of course, everybody that's come, friends and family that are here today, and thank you so much. I would remind the graduates and their guests are invited to attend the alumni luncheon immediately following the ceremony. And I have to remind the graduates and everyone else that are waiting for the graduates, the students will be getting their group and class photos taken immediately following the procession in the gowning area. So there will be about 15 to 20 minutes wait before we'll be able to talk to the graduates and be able to join their family and friends. So if they're not right out, they will be out. So everybody will be waiting anxiously for you, so fast with the photography. I also want to thank everyone who in any way was involved in the preparation for this wonderful day. It takes a lot of preparation, and we thank all of you for taking the time and effort to make this a special day for all of our graduates. And now the ceremony is recessed, and I ask the members of the audience to please rise and remain in your seats until the platform party, members of the board, members of faculty, and graduates have completed their exit.